You people are not ready for this. A surprising link between Ripple's XRP and BlackRock has now come to light. XRP is quite interesting to BlackRock, which is the richest firm in the world. This could be the greatest positive indicator ever. Through their own efforts, they can raise the price of XRP to levels that appear impossible. Ripple's CEO has even suggested that the price of XRP coin might go up to $121,590. That one tweet from Alex Jones started a lot of talk, but what happened next was far more than simply online excitement. More people in the XRP community spoke up. Ripple pundits said that BlackRock is buying XRP, and Board Siegel Club said directly that BlackRock had joined the XRP game as asked. At first sight, these tweets seem like they would get a lot of attention, but when you look at them in light of an emerging hypothesis in the crypto realm, they may be more important than most people think. A long thread by former user Stellar News, also known as Stellar Rippler, says that Ripple and BlackRock may be discreetly laying the groundwork for a tokenized global financial system. His idea says that the XRP ledger, Aladdin BlackRock's strong asset management system, tokenized U.S. Treasuries, and the growing number of digital identification solutions are all connected in some way. They are connected on purpose. BlackRock isn't just purchasing XRP for fun. It's possible that Ripple and BlackRock are using different names for the same tactics to reach the same aim. Ono Finance is a significant part of this jigsaw. They are using the XRP ledger technology to us treasuries. Stellar Rippler says that Ando has connections to BlackRock that most people don't know about. It is said that one of the company's co-founders came from Goldman Sachs, and that's a detail that really jumps out, especially when a lot of BlackRock's senior executives have the same experience. Gary Gensler, who is now the head of the used to work at Goldman. This overlap isn't just a coincidence. It points to a common network of power that could explain how Ripple has survived and perhaps grown. The SEC lawsuit against Ripple is probably the most interesting development in the idea. What if it wasn't just a crackdown by the government, but a test that was planned out? Stellar Rippler thinks that the lawsuit was a form of initiation, a means to test Ripple before letting it play a big part in the new global financial system. It's a strong point of view, but it accords with how power usually operates in global banking. No important person obtains a place at the table without being put under a lot of stress. The effects are, well, mind-boggling. If Ripple has been secretly creating the plumbing of tomorrow's financial system with help or coordination from BlackRock, then XRP is not just another altcoin. It's a critical node in a future where tokenized assets can move freely across borders, with code and global organizations, not governments, keeping an eye on them. BlackRock, the biggest asset management in the world, doesn't do things only to get attention. It moves when the infrastructure is ready, when the rules are clear, and when markets can be discreetly controlled. This was the situation when it suddenly switched to Bitcoin ETFs, and it could be doing the same thing with XRP. Quietly building up, then rolling out on a large scale. We might not have full proof yet. There is no press release that connects BlackRock and Ripple. There are too many signals that point to the same thing, too many coincidences, and too many quiet moves behind the scenes for this to be overlooked. We are seeing the beginning of something huge. If Stellar Rippler is even half right, XRP might not just be discounted in price, but also in how people see it. And the folks who have it now, the ones who are really paying attention, might be ahead of a curve that most people can't even perceive now. So, yes, XRP was worth the risk. That one tweet from Subjective Views seems more like a premonition now than just a reflection. People have made fun of XRP, doubted it, and even said it was a far shot in the past. But for those who are paying attention, things are changing quickly. The XRP community is starting to feel more and more like they need to act quickly, and honestly, they have good cause too. If you look at crypto Twitter, you'll find that the excitement is through the roof. Steph says with confidence that XRP Millionaires will be produced in the next 3 to 4 weeks. King XRP goes even farther, referring to a headline that is alarming. Forbes has set the price of XRP at $60,000, which is highly likely. Those statistics may sound crazy, but they don't even come close to what happened next. During his visit, on the Good Morning Crypto Show, Jake Claver, the CEO of Digital Ascension Group, made a shocking statement. Claver says that XRP might reach $1,500 to $2,000 by the beginning of 2026. That's not a mistake. He makes an optimistic case based on a mix of unstable macroeconomic conditions, clear regulations, and the rapid rise of tokenization in global finance. He says that the world needs a neutral bridge currency that can handle trillions of dollars moving across borders. And XRP is the only genuine option. Take a time to think about that. It would need a rise of more than 43,000% for XRP to reach $1,500. And, going to $2,000 means more than 57,000%. And they aren't just guesses about the price. These calculations suggest that the market caps are between $90 trillion and $120 trillion. That would mean that XRP's overall value is more than the world gold market and even the whole M2 money supply. Of course, a lot of people are doubtful. Some people say that these kinds of prices are just made up and that no asset could truly reach those levels. CLAVER isn't the only one who sees XRP as more than just another altcoin though. Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, is said to think that XRP's market valuation may be bigger than Bitcoin's, with a price of $121,590 per XRP. The most interesting thing about these predictions is how they fit in with the bigger trend we're seeing in global markets. Governments are rushing to digitize their money. Banks are realizing how inefficient traditional settlement is. And big companies like BlackRock are secretly getting ready for the technology that may make it all happen. If XRP becomes the standard rails for this new system, then the numbers we've been hearing, 60,000, 121,000, even 2,000, might not be so wild after all. There is still uncertainty, and this market never moves in a straight line. But it's getting tougher to ignore what's going on. XRP has always been the odd one out in crypto. Now it actually looks like it's going to be the basis of a financial revolution. And if that happens, worth the risk might be the understatement of the decade. Now let's move into Ripple's collaborations, because that's where things get very serious. We're not just talking about little fintech firms. We're also talking about big banks, global payment networks, and organizations that have strong relationships to governments around the world. The story around digital assets is changing so quickly, especially when it comes to XRP. A few years ago, a lot of people thought stablecoins and blockchain were silly ideas for traditional banking. But as John Squire put it, they laughed at stablecoins. And now the US Treasury sees trillions of dollars in demand, who is eager to grow around the world. XRP was ready from the start. That phrase sums up XRP's current state. It's a digital asset that is ready for widespread use around the world. XRP's relationship with MasterCard, a huge player in global payments, is one of the clearest signals that it is becoming more popular. After the Genius Act was passed, it became clear and certain that dollar-backed stablecoins would be regulated in a big way. MasterCard has publicly stated that it is working with Ripple. This is a big endorsement. The Genius Act says that only federally regulated or state-supervised institutions can issue stablecoins. This makes it apparent who is following the rules and who is not in the world of crypto. It's a legal basis that lets traditional financial and blockchain companies work together without worrying about breaking the law. MasterCard's comment on this new time of clarity and trust in digital assets indicates how seriously the payments giant takes this change. They're not simply playing around. They are actively looking into how stablecoins may improve payment systems, getting ready for a future where digital currencies and fiat money can work together without any problems. This is very important because XRP's widespread use depends on clear rules from regulators. When big companies like MasterCard engage with Ripple, it shows that more and more people trust Ripple's technology, using the XRP ledger as the basis for cross-border payments that are compliant, scalable, and happen in real time. A